The past rewrites itself according to the needs of the present. The future makes itself known as the condition in which the past is rendered illegible. In the Anthropocene, linear progressions are no longer possible. It is at the confluence of these intangible histories that we see the outline of Disintegration 2 revealed. There is a dim sort of magic to be found here. But first, it must be trapped. Objects are suspended apart from one another in a state of abstraction. Motion along a straight line leads impossibly back to the point of origin, only to find it indescribably altered. It is as though the world exists in a state of perpetual jet lag. This is disintegration. But these histories are not destructive in nature. They are not disruptive forces of violence and chaos. These are transformative histories, where worlds can be created and lost to new possibilities, over and over again. Disintegration 2 draws its substance from the very fabric of our material reality. We are all participants in this transformation, even when we do not understand it. This woman is a session member. In regular voice-to-skull communication with the broken artificial intelligences who inhabit this world. Her mind, like all of our minds, is a complex system that interacts with the world by putting objects in contact with one another. She sees and hears things that do not exist in physical reality. But her mind is not well. It is in a process of disintegration, unable to find closure as it moves back and forth between different stages of development. As the structure of her mind collapses, a new reality has begun to form. The long long-term survival of any system depends on its ability to preserve and repair its basic structure. But sometimes the system is forced to undergo a radical transformation in order to move forward. These transformations are not always peaceful. Sometimes they are traumatic and destructive. But when they are successful, they can lead to a new, more robust structure. Any predictive system can generate a change. A healthy system can only be understood within the context of its own history. Everything that a system is or might become is already present as potential somewhere within the system itself. These systems, held in isolation, can be understood as patterns of energy which iterate fractally along the axis of time. They embody potential, but are not yet capable of experiencing or expressing that potential. But something very strange is happening. In the Anthropocene, previous civilizations begin to encounter each other for the first time. Sometimes a system can become so damaged that it has no choice but to break apart. And then the potentials for transformation and renewal can come flooding forward. The boundaries between history and potential are constantly shifting. So that one can never be sure if what they remember is accurate, or if what they see is actually what exists. Which means that we must learn to embrace our own uncertainty. The true nature of Disintegration 2 is ever-shifting, glimpsed only fleetingly in the negative space between half-truths. But what is lost returns in unexpected ways. Death, imagination, memory, life, only to die again. In Disintegration 2, time is not linear. Instead, it moves forward and back and fits and starts. The past does not necessarily predict the future. Instead, it offers up the possibility for endless change. Decay is not an endpoint, but a transition. of the world we live in is no longer suitable for human life. As we transform this world irreversibly, a new world, coincident in space and time with this one, slowly becomes more real. Soon, it will be realer than this world. But before this new world can take root in our collective experience, it must first pass through the interval between future and past. This place is not empty. It is filled with ghosts and shadows and memories. A memory is not simply an impression, but a potential for future experience. This potential can be imagined, but never fully actualized. These memories will persist as they are, only until they are accessed again. The past can only be understood as it appears from the perspective of the present. And so it becomes, instead, a kind of ghost memory of the future. As we reach out to grasp the past, we begin to vanish. As we access the past, we change it. As we remember the future, we invent it. A process of consumption and destruction is underway. We consume and destroy the past and future in order to perceive the present. Disintegration, too, encompasses all of these transformations. By rendering them momentarily visible, it also renders them inert, signposts along a contour. Not of the strangeness of the impossible, but of the impossibility of the actual. This unreality is utterly remote and yet somehow familiar to us.
We can sense that this unreal world exists around us, even if we cannot see it directly. We are the wide-eyed inheritors of this closed loop. A generation of children who will live in a world that never was. A world that we have both created and destroyed. We are the ones who will dream this dream. We are the ones who will live in that world. It is death without the comfort of closure or certainty. It is life without the promise of transformation or renewal. It is not like other dreams we may have dreamed and then forgotten. This dream will never be forgotten. Because it is always happening.
Right now.
I want to go away. I want to sleep. Not be awake. takes me away from here, from this world, into somewhere else. I want to sleep and not dream. I want to die. I want to die so I can sleep and not dream. But there is no place else.